right hand corner and subscribe. Hit that options tender logo. I just want to talk to you real quick in person about the CPI in the morning. Usually we don't look at too many fundamentals on options tender. We're pure chartists, but these things matter when you have a grinding market. They're looking for information. And when you have inflation that's involved with the Fed and all this shenanigans that are happening, then you really have to pay attention to something like that. It's at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. There's probably going to be some sort of jolt or possibly a big move. And so as we go into the charts, we're going to see what could possibly happen. Where could that big move take us? And in most of those situations, the first move is not the last move. So it may take us really quick to hit our target to the upside and then start the descent to the bottom. And a lot of times these catalysts, like the Fed meetings, the FOMC, CPI, they can last 1 or 2 days, and you can have your move to one direction and then really take a reversal for the duration and start taking the direction that it is meant to go to. So, okay, just wanted to explain that real quick. Let's go ahead and get to the charts. And we're going to start off with SPX options expected move. Our options expected move gives us kind of the framing of what we expect the options market expects for the week. And we're looking real similar to back here when we didn't touch either side. Yeah, we touched the bottom there, didn't reach any point, really took a big dive there and then had some movement. But 3 weeks in a row of real mediocre moves. Then we had a big move and just started grinding to where we never touched each end for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. So yeah, we had our big move here, didn't touch, not touching. So we're in our third week of not hitting any side of the options expected move. We can continue this grind to the upside until maybe we hit our targets or we have the first one is at 44.60 and we'll see that on the next chart. But this one shows we did nothing. We did nothing this week. We started off with, get those out of the way. We started off the week here, the white line, and we're here. Now we did touch brand new all-time highs, 44.45 right there, but that means nothing. We came right back to, it's like we're drawn right there. We're looking for more market information. So maybe tomorrow's that catalyst, maybe not. Maybe tomorrow we jolt and then we just continue to grind after that. Anything's possible. The thing about trading is we want to, if something happens, we want to know what scenario that is. So if this happens, then this is what I'm going to do. If that happens, then that's what I'm going to do. So it's an if then when situation. Okay, so let's jump over to the other frame. Let's go to the trend is our friend. That's our target. We have the 100% area right there. And the reason why we have that 100% because we're looking for let me pull back just a little bit. You see where these turquoise wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are. This 5 is not done yet, but we're looking at an expanding flat. Expanding diagonal. So what that means is that wave 1 needs to be shorter than wave 3, which needs to be shorter than wave 5. 100% of wave 3 is at the 44.60 area. We can go above it. We can continue to go above it, but it at least has to hit this mark. So that's why we've been so bullish, because we think this is what's happening. Now, the wave 2 has to be smaller than the wave 4, which is the case. So that kind of firms up our situation here. So we are looking to make at least a tick above this 100%. That will be our first target. Our next one will be the actual wedge top. And then we also, if I pull this down a little bit, we have a 1618 on 2 different areas which brings us to about the 4,600 area. So that's we have two higher targets. Each of those targets, if we hit this wedge and start to break down, we know what's happening. If we pop up really fast with the CPI and have a big wick and start moving to the downside, we know that we hit our targets. We hit our targets and we're making our next direction. We could even pop over. We could even, over the next couple days, weeks, we could hit the 4,600. And we know that that's a breakout from the wedge. But if we happen to pull back, retest the wedge, and break down from that, then we know the scenario is a fake break. Okay, so that's what trading's all about. It's not predicting what's going to happen. It's actually, reacting to each scenario and figuring out what that scenario is after we see the candle, the price action work. Okay, a lot of information there, but let's go over to the SPY. Grab a drink here. Sorry about that. Okay, so again on the SPY we have the 44, almost 46 area where that 100% will be. So we set our alert there, but everything, we're over all the MAs. Everything's bullish until proven otherwise. The volume, nothing. It's worse than the actual holiday volume that we had back here in the Memorial weekend. Yeah, everything's bullish. We have a lot of divergence on the MACD. That goes on the SPX as well. Divergence is pushing and pushing. We're making new highs and making new lows. But, you know, we have a little bit of a caveat here. We actually had the trend line. Let me show you this up in close. We have a trend line that was forming, but we're actually kind of breaking out from that. Yes, this is a divergent, negative divergence, but we have a trend and we're kind of peaking above it, retested it. And let's see if that's that little tea leaf that says to us that tomorrow we're going to break to the upside, at least for a small amount of time to hit some of those targets. Okay, so let's go to VX, the Vix Futures. VX is poised to make a move. This is a huge falling wedge, so we do think we're going to break out of this wedge eventually, but it depends how. So we made this move above, tried to break, but we just we wicked back, and it looks like we're having an A, B, C correction. We don't know where this is going to end yet. We do have some confluence with the with a triangle, a little bit of support here, and underneath there we can make. We have a couple support areas, but we could make another divergent low, and then we could start making our high there. So we just don't know where it's going to end. This looks like it could have been ABC up, ABC down, you know, and then we'll see if we can get some sort of play in here, a 1-2, 1-2, some sort of bullish play in here. But until then, we have to consider this bearish, which means the market is still going to the upside. So we have our alert set, and we're ready for whatever kind of action takes place. Look at this range. We really tightened up into a triangle. I mapped that out, and we broke down underneath that triangle. So from here, it just still looks like we're going to be bullish on the market and bearish on the VIX. And you know, that's all we have for non-members. We're going to stick around here, and we're going to go through some of the other markets. And if you're not a Patreon member, consider being a Patreon. The first tier is $5. The tier after that is $10. You get trade education. We're going to go through SNOW in detail, and we're also going to tell people why, some of our members, why we pick swing trades in particular. What do we do? What's our process? And we want to get into depth with that. So we're going to go on from here. Thanks for joining us here at Options Center members. Stick around.